about that Rona? That Rona.
Rona, huh?
That Rona, baby.
You know, we've been tiptoeing around this and kind of
Mhm.
pushing it back and whatnot. Here's the thing.
Go on and speak on it, sir. Go on and speak on
This
it. I tell you, I'll let you speak
here's
on
the
it, bruh.
thing, people.
Yeah.
I don't care if you tired of the Rona. I really don't care if you sick of being careful, or sick of wearing masks. Look, check this out, Playboy and Playgirls.
Speak on it, man.
This is a actual pandemic. This is the real thing. This is nothing to play with. This is not um this is not an exercise. This is not a psyop. This is the real thing. People are dying by the thousands. Um, right now in America, people are still dying on average. I think the for the last week they've averaged about 850 to 900 people died from the Rona each day.
Okay.
Now, let's put that into context.
Mm-hmm.
If 800 to 900 people were getting shot dead every day in America,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Dead though, not just hit, but actual dead bodies stacking up
Mm-hmm.
every day. 900 people. Those stories that people would write would say basically that America is a war zone.
Right.
It would be the sky is falling would be the story. But somehow, because these are individuals who unfortunately are dying in their homes, in their
Mm-hmm.
rest homes,
Mm-hmm.
in hospitals, and they're dying in there alone because they can't have family there because it's so contagious that somehow we try to act like it's not a big deal. Or maybe because of where I live, it's not that big of a deal. Well, only 4 people died yesterday, so it's
Right.
not that big of a deal.
Of course.
Bro, take a step back and look at it. This is a real thing. Now, the question with a pandemic is always this. Um, they come in waves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so usually the first time around, they call it the first wave. It might die down some, and then
Mm-hmm.
it comes back into a second wave. The question for us right now is what's happening in America? Are we still in the first wave, or are
Right.
we seeing the second wave right now? And it's definitely a wave. We just don't know. It's hard to say which one. What do you think?
Now, here's the thing, and I was talking, and my brother Big Joe, he's gonna be coming on. Big Joe Hines, he's gonna be coming on a little bit later. But we were talking about this earlier,
Yeah, yeah.
and you've got some spots that, matter of fact, I want to bring it up too because I want to make sure I don't misquoting.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about that, and he was saying that New York and Frisco, in this case, are the only cities that had a true first wave. Had a true
Mm-hmm.
first wave. It's Frisco, the Bay, and New
Mm-hmm.
York. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And
Right. Right.
so basically everybody by that premise, basically everybody else technically is still in like the first wave of this, you
Right.
know, because
Right.
New York got hit hard. And so
Right.
they went through their first wave, and so now if something else comes up, then they'll be going into that second wave. Same thing with the Bay, because they were just hit just as hard too.
Right.
And
Right. Right.
so the thing is now is that stuff is laxed. Restaurants are open up. I can go get my hair cut. I ain't worried about that. My stuff is it's whatever. I'm not worried. That to me that's meaningless. That's
Right.
meaningless
Right.
to me.
Right. Right.
So you got that. Um,
Right.
um, I go out driving like I told the wife, and I see folks out just carefree. It's like whatever. Like, oh, the government said to open up, so it must be gone.
Right.
It's
Right.
all good, and I think that's the ignorance of a lot of people and very sheep mindish. To whereas in because here's my thing, it don't cost nothing to to be safe or to be careful.
Right.
Because here's the thing, let's say if it blows over, what did it cost you? But the
Right.
thing about it is, if you're wrong, the price is going
Right.
to be heavy. Are you
Right.
And there's a lot of people out there that are willing to go ahead and roll that gamble. I see you, my man DJ EBP. What's going on, man? Good to see y'all, my
Yeah.
man Nelson. Got some folks up in the chat. Appreciate y'all, man. So I mean,
Yeah.
You can roll the dice, man, and think you're gonna roll with 7-Eleven all day long, but
Right.
sooner or later, you gonna have
Right.
snake eyes. You
Right.
gonna have
Right.
snake eyes.
This
Real
this the
talk.
way this the way that I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the virus is a real thing, and a virus is like a math equation.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to think of it as such. It's not nothing personal. What it
Mm-hmm.
is you got a virus can be have a certain amount of contagiousness. So
Mm-hmm.
each person that catches it will on average will transmit it to X amount of other people, right?
Right.
If the amount of people that a person who has it transmits to is greater than one, so
Right.
I transmit it to two people, well, that means that the thing, and that's happening on average, that means
Right.
that the outbreak is growing. If the math shows that for each person that catches it, they're giving it to less than one person, that means the numbers are gradually coming down and hopefully they'll come down to zero.
Right.
Here's the thing. Right now, America, we're still sitting at about a one, and people are acting like everything is cool. That just
Right.
means we leveled off. And
Right.
if you take out New York, who's falling way down, and New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
who's falling way down from their
Right.
peak,
Mm-hmm.
the rest of America is actually on the uptrend if you don't count them.
Right.
So here's the thing. This is what I would tell people.
Well, before you do that, can I throw
Yeah.
some numbers out? I want to keep it, but I
Yeah.
want to throw some numbers out so facts to know.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, this is the real spit show. We not
Right,
doing
right.
we bring in numbers, we bring in facts, data, so that way, I tell cats you got to read, because if you ain't got a library card, I don't think you can handle our show, because that lets me know that you don't read.
Right.
You don't read books. You don't read
Right.
something. Okay.
If you get all your information, if you do all your research from memes, this ain't the show for you, Mike.
It's not. It's not.
It's just not.
It's
So,
not. Or if you depend on Wikipedia as your sole know all, see all,
damn.
I'm just saying. Ain't gonna
Yeah.
let me know you don't know nothing about research and footnoting and all. That's a whole nother
Right.
subject, but you don't know none of
Right,
that.
right, right.
So I'm like, yeah.
Right,
Anyway,
right.
so let's get to some of these numbers.
Yeah.
South Carolina counts highest number of new cases for the fourth consecutive day. South Carolina, the
Yeah.
highest.
It's cracking out there right
And
now.
Florida, let's go with Florida. I used to live out in Miami. Florida sees the second day of over 2,000 new cases as
Right.
the beaches are reopened. So,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
all I can do is kind of correlate. It's like, okay, they open this up. Everybody's kind of carefree. They ain't wearing no mask on the beaches. They
Right.
over there doing their thing and moving, and oh, I'm glad to be out, and ooh, man, I can get outside of my house and this and that and the other. But at
Right.
what cost? At what
Right.
cost? Now you
Right.
out there, now you got it, or you don't know you got it, and you come
Yeah.
home and now you passing it to somebody else that you love or this and that and the other that might be susceptible or
Yeah,
got underlying conditions because the government said it's all good. It's all
Right.
good. It's all good. But
Hey, let me just tell you a quick story so people will know how this spreads and how easy it can spread.
right.
They were able to pinpoint where an outbreak that happened amongst black folks in Chicago. There was one particular outbreak. They were able to trace it back to patient zero. There was a funeral, and someone that passed in Chicago, and someone traveled from out of state. I believe she traveled from New Jersey. She came to Chicago to go to the funeral. She said she was feeling a little bit under the weather, but not nothing crazy. It just didn't seem anything much different from a cold, right?
Right.
She goes to the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
So she's sitting in the pews. The person that was sitting ahead of her, you know how it is in church when you want to say something to somebody, you kind of do.
You just
kinda
do
dip
it. Yeah.
back this
You
way,
kind of or you lean
forward.
forward. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they talking over the pew or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
They go on about their business. She goes to the funeral. She hugs a couple people afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
5 people that came across her at that funeral wound up contracting the coronavirus just from that quick little interaction from her. two of those five died just from the funeral, right?
Okay.
But this happens later though, so it don't happen right at once where you know right away. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So after the funeral, she goes to the repast as
As
we
we
do,
do. That's
right?
it. Yeah.
Goes to the repast.
Mm-hmm.
It was at somebody in the family's house. She goes in, she sits down, she breaks bread, has dinner, she hugs the host, which was a middle aged sister and her husband. She gives both of them a hug. She hugs a couple more people. She
Mm-hmm.
bounces. Out of that repast, six people at that repast caught coronavirus. Three of them passed.
What?
Okay, so we up to
Okay.
five
Five.
dead
Yeah.
already
Right.
just from two little whaps, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's still in town. A day later, one of her cousins is having a birthday party. She slides through the birthday party. It's at somebody's house. She goes in. She does what you do at birthday parties. At that birthday party, there were, let's see, let me do my math. There were seven people at that birthday party got the coronavirus from her. One
Okay.
of them passed. So the grand total out of all of it was 19 people who came across her path
Mm-hmm.
at these three functions, got the
Now,
coronavirus from this one person.
right. And how
Right?
many out of the 19? It was my
Six.
count. Is it six? Right. So
Six
out of the
passed.
19, six died.
Right. Now here's the thing about coronavirus, especially why black people have to be very careful.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, the kill rate on black folks is twice as high as white folks. So if coronavirus kills 1.2% of everybody that catches it, if you're
Mm-hmm.
white, it's killing 2.4% of everybody that catches it that's black. So you're twice as likely if you do catch it, and not say you're twice likely to catch it. I'm
Right.
saying if you do catch it, what it does is you're twice as likely to get a bad case of it where you wind up in the hospital or wind up in the ICU
Mm-hmm.
or, God forbid, wind up in the grave. You dig?
Right.
So
Excellent.
this ain't something that we can be playing with. We don't have the ability to play with this. If you want to
Right.
go play in traffic, that's on you. Go
Right.
have at it. Have fun. But I ain't finna get out there with you. You know what I'm saying?
Real
I
talk.
stay masked up.
Real
But,
talk.
it is what it is.
Yeah. And so, um, so I mean, that's the whole idea right there. Is that you got a lot of folks out that are just loosey goosey. You got some folks that don't even believe that is real. So
Right.
I mean that's fine. That's fine. I mean, once the dust is settled and once this all is said and done, regardless if it's a year from now, a half a year from now, a year and a half from now, we'll
Right.
see. We'll
Right.
see. But like I said, to me, it doesn't cost anything to keep you and yours safe. And that's the only
Right.
thing that's prudent. Me,
Right.
as a man, as a father, as a husband, that's my job. So I'm gonna
Right.
make sure me
To
and mine.
protect mine.
I don't care what the government say. I don't care what Joe Blow say here on Twitter, this and that and the other, all this other hoopla. Because guess what? When it comes right down to it, I'm responsible for me, my wife, and my two
Right.
Thundercats. Period.
Right.
In the story. That's what it is.
Dundada.
And so, I mean, if we gotta be at the house, I don't like it. I don't like it that me and the wife, we had to cancel our Canada 2-week Canada family trip that we was looking
Right.
forward to for the half year.
Right,
But you
right.
know, it is what it is. I told, guess what? Canada ain't going nowhere. We go next year. It ain't
Yeah.
nothing. It ain't
Yeah.
nothing. You know, so it is what it is. So we keep it moving. So
Right.
hopefully, I'm praying that the folks out there we know that chimed in that are watching right now, that you are staying safe. I want to say what's up, folks in the chat. I see Steph. I haven't seen you in a while, Steph. What's good with you, girl? My boy Vic. We go back way, way, way back. My man Nelson. Just to let you all know, we're gonna be putting the Zoom deal in the chat so that way folks want to chime in. I see a couple folks wanted to chime in, so I'm gonna be posting that here in about less than a minute. So give me a second.
Yeah.
But all I can say, like I said, we love y'all. We just want you to be safe. Don't be reckless with your life. Don't be
Right.
reckless with your life. The people that love around you, don't be reckless or whatnot, because
Right.
we only got one of these. We only got one. I've had people, family members that got it, that are gone.
Right.
That are gone. that
Right.
are
Right.
gone,
Right.
that are
Right.
gone, or family members, bruh. And
Right.
she did have underlying conditions, but she was pressured to go to an event, came back, boom, a week, out of here.
Right.
Bruh,
Right.
bruh,
Right.
this junk is real. And the thing about it is, for the folks that don't think, they probably it hasn't touched them. They don't know anybody, no family,
Yeah.
so ain't no
Yeah.
big deal. Let somebody in your family catch and get out of here. I guarantee you're gonna sing a different tune. You're gonna sing
Right.
a different
Right.
tune. So all I can tell y'all out there, the ones we know and even the ones we don't know, be
Yeah.
safe.
Be
Be
safe.
safe. Do what
Right.
you gotta do.
Right.
Okay?
Right. Right.
Do what you
Right.
gotta do.